So hello, my name is Vidaluz, and I'm here in front of you today because at the age of 6, I was able to achieve financial independence thanks to following my passion, which is business. So I know we're getting a lot of inspiration from all these people today to do what you love and follow your passion and do what's right. So I want to share the lessons I learned with business. From a young age, I was around this years old when I started. And I was around 5. And the lessons I learned, I think, do not only apply to business. If your passion is art, music, science, they can be applied to those areas too. So what are these? Here they are. Embrace rejection, embrace innovation, and dream big. So let me start by sharing my stories. Embrace rejection. The first lesson I learned when I was 5 years old. You see, I was graduating from kindergarten, and I really wanted a bike. We were living in Mexico at the time, and we were about to move to Canada. And I begged my mom for a bike, but she told me, wait, we're gonna go to Canada and settle down, and then I'll buy you a bike. And instead, she bought me a tiny gumball machine. And I love all things tiny. This is a collection of my things at home, a little bit. And so when my mom bought me a tiny one of these, I was thrilled. And to make the process faster and to help my mom out a bit, I decided to sell these gumballs. Some adults were really nice. They came to my house, I offered it to them, I told them what it was for, and they supported me. However, other adults said, oh, how cute. Okay, now go and play with somebody your own age. They saw a little girl playing store. But I encountered rejection right in the face, and you are likely to do so too, because you can never please everybody. You have two options when you encounter rejection. You can use it as something that can inhibit you. I'll try again when I'm wiser, when I'm older, when I'm better prepared. Or you can use it to your advantage. I was a little mad, okay? I was 5 years old, and they weren't taking me seriously. And I decided to use it to my advantage. Whenever somebody rejected my gumballs, I gave them a discount, 2 for 1, or an IOU, anything, to make them realize that I was serious. And eventually, even they realized it. And that's me making a buyer happy with my gumballs. And you know what? We came to Canada in 2003, and I bought that bike by myself. No help from my mom or dad. Can you imagine how proud I was? Oh, thanks. Well, anyway, the next year, we moved back to our home country, or our country of origin, Bolivia. And this is where the second lesson comes into play. Embrace innovation. A lot of years had passed, around 4, and the gumball machine had gotten lost among many moves. But I wanted to do something bigger, and I wanted to feel independent again, not having to ask my mom for money or my dad anytime I wanted to buy anything. So let's put a little bit of cultural context into this. If I was still living in Canada, or in North America for that matter, I probably would have gotten a job babysitting, selling lemonade, or doing a garage sale. But I was living in Bolivia, and those things are not part of our culture. So I had to look for ways. And I decided to gather some data and look at my market, which was my school. And I saw something that probably everybody in here knows. Kids love candy. And even though my school didn't have a kiosk, kids would run to the front of the door and wave their money to the lady that had a store at the front, and she would sometimes cross the street and come over, but she sometimes wouldn't. And there were lines. If you were the kid at the back of the line, forget it. Recess was too short for you to get candy. So I decided to, what the heck, gather all the candy I had at home and offer it to those kids at the back of the line. Interestingly enough, the line died. And in a few days, I got rid of all the candy I had at home. I decided to. Okay, I didn't create candy, so I wasn't innovative in that sense, but I saw the demand, and I supplied it well. And innovation didn't end there. I didn't want to offer my clients something they could buy anywhere. candy at any store. So I took the extra step of taking my dad. Thank you, Dad. I know you're out there. I'm sorry. But I dragged him across street markets almost every weekend to get the most innovative, creative, delicious candy. This was a very popular one. It's a lollipop that is also a whistle, and if you pull the stick at the bottom, it makes a sound. And, oh, there it is. And this was one of my best sellers. Oh, I never figured out if it was from Korea, China, or the Middle East, but it was very popular. It was like a yogurt in a straw, and you pulled it, and it was delicious. And, I mean, I like working with people, and I didn't rely on my own palate to decide what was delicious in terms of candy, so I had my panel of experts help me out, AKA my little cousins and my sister, yeah. So we had a lot of fun. And they told me that it made them feel like they were part of something bigger, because they were. The candies we decided on together were the most successful ones. Last but not least, dream big, okay? We've probably already heard this many times, but there's a reason for it. When you realize how powerful that statement is, you'll know that if you dream big, that your dreams actually scare you, you'll get out of that comfort zone. And I have nothing against comfort zones. I think we all need them at some point in our lives. But if you spend too much time in them, you'll never know what you're capable of. So I was doing well with my candy business. I wanted to expand it into music school. My parents, both musicians, wanted to get me exposed to the world of music as well. So I was in music school, Monday to Friday, from 2 to 7. And the problem was, no candy allowed, too sticky. And so, but I did love stickers. And, you know, I never thought of anything about it. I always bought them, shared them with my friends. But one day, a friend told me while I was handing her some stickers, Vida, you have so many stickers, you could open your own shop. And so I did. I cut up all my booklets, divided them into sheets, and sold them for $1 each, which is around 20 cents. Those are the kind of booklets I sold. I was hesitant because I didn't want to find rejection. Honestly, I didn't have a plan B, but the girls loved it. My theory is that now they didn't have to wait for me to offer it to them or settle with whatever I gave them. They now had control of whatever they wanted and how much of it they wanted. Make your buyer feel like they have control. So this is an aerial view of my music school and the kind of people I sold things to. We were all kids. We were all 11, 10, and that's me, by the way, if you can find me. And the candy lady, at the beginning of my story, I had lines sometimes form, and the customers at the back, they would leave. I was losing customers, and that's when I decided it was time to dream even bigger, get some other people involved. AKA my best friends. I tracked down school events, talent shows, music performances, and at music school, craft days for Mother's Day, Father's Day, and I would give my friends a box of candy or a booklet of stickers to sell, and then we would get together with the profits, split it into quotas, and you know what? It felt better. I was having fun with more people, teaching them things, and they told me they felt empowered. They were also financially independent. They were earning money at 11 when other teenagers still had to ask for allowances. Oh yeah, that's another picture of us. And I mean, it all seems great, right? Oh, I have my businesses, I'm independent. But it all had to end thanks to something called immigration. March 2009, my family and I moved back to Canada, this time to stay. And I mean, I thought, okay, the business side is over, close that chapter of my life, and now I have to focus on learning English, making new friends, adapting to the huge cultural differences. I mean, any immigrants here? Yeah? Raise of hands? Yeah, so many. You can certainly relate then. It is a big difference, especially if you come from a country where the language is not English. Yeah. Oh. So it's been 5 years. I could say I have achieved many of my goals, but I realized that by closing the chapter of my life with business, I was neglecting a whole part of myself, a part that not only made me happy, but also made me successful. And that's why I decided to get back into it with the tools I have today. I decided to open an Instagram shop where I sell books and clothes I don't use anymore. And it's doing well, but I love interacting with people. So I decided to post an ad on Kijiji, selling something that is not tangible anymore, but knowledgeable, I guess. Violin lessons. This is an expansion of my business card, DIY business card. And now you can see the internet is a really useful tool. And now I'm not only doing this to be independent and earn money, but I can help students achieve their goals. One of my students, she tells me she has always wanted to play violin. She even bought her own violin. She pays for her own music lessons, and she loves it. And now, even this came through rejection. As soon as I turned 16, I applied to countless jobs, retail, restaurants. I believe I applied to 6 when I was 16. None of them called me back. This summer, I tried again. I applied here and there. Nothing. Rejection again, that wall. And again, I could have used it to say, okay, maybe I should focus on studying and put that for later. But no. If I couldn't get a job through other people, I'm going to make my own job. And I guess that's what I want to tell you here today. That, yes, I want to share these 3 lessons with you. Embrace rejection, embrace innovation, and dream big. Apply them to anything you love to do. And I can assure you that also with effort and dedication, you can be successful at it. Good luck, and thank you.